Who's next? I mean, you got Letitia, you got Comey, and you heard CNN mention one Adam Schiff. Oh, I don't feel bad about this one. And Donald Trump mentioned it recently, maybe about a month ago in the Oval Office. Listen.
Adam Schiff. Director Pulte reports that Adam Schiff claims he lived in a one-bedroom apartment. Now, how does a family of four, and you're a developer, a very successful developer, how does a family of four live in a one-bedroom apartment?
Now, it looks like Adam Schiff really did a bad thing. They have him. Now, let's see what happens. It's not up to me. It's not up to, I stay out of it purposely. But it's mortgage loan fraud. It's a big deal. He defrauded banks and insurance companies and the federal government. But it's very simple. It's mortgage loan fraud. And you're right. It's a lot of people to live in a one-bedroom apartment, right? But he put it down. But he has a lot of other things far worse than that. So, no, Adam Schiff, they have him 100% on mortgage fraud. Now, if it was anybody else in this room except you would have no problem. But anybody else in this room, you'd have a problem. I'd have a problem.
So, 2 down, 1 more to go. I think you can probably anticipate that sometime within the next couple of weeks. And again, my sourcing is pretty good on this. And I've been proven right over and over and over again here. I do think that Adam Schiff is going to find himself in some new kinds of trouble. Now, the question will be the statute of limitations. Is he able to say, okay, that didn't fly? I've heard some talk that there are additional documents for refinancing that may suggest that statute of limitations actually is not expired and they can go after him. So that's perhaps next on the list. Let me share with you this memorable moment. This is William Pulte, who runs FHFA, talking with my good friend Maria Bartiromo on her show, just exactly about what Letitia did that he views as wrong.
One more thing on Adam Schiff. Director Pulte reports that Adam Schiff claims...
Forgive me, we're going to try that again because I want to show you what he was saying. This is an important soundbite, and he explains it. He explains it quite well, basically saying that mortgage fraud is a very serious crime and something that the jury will likely weigh in on, as they did today with the indictment. Here we go.
DOJ investigate New York Attorney General Letitia James over alleged mortgage fraud. The AG, Letitia James, has responded. We don't have the video, but here's the quote. "This investigation into me is nothing more than retribution. It's baseless. It has to do with the fact that on a power of attorney, I mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia resident. And prior to that, I indicated to the mortgage broker that, in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be. They just took the power of attorney and they're using that as a basis for enforcement of their investigation." Bill, do you know why she said she was a resident of Virginia on the power of attorney, if in fact she wasn't?
Well, I know that we are mortgage experts, and we only refer things that we think are mortgage fraud, and we stand 100% behind the letter. I'll let the letter speak for itself. I do know, and I have seen some reports from that subject, from that subject's criminal defense lawyer, saying certain things. I'll leave it to the DOJ to correct various things. But again, when we see mortgage fraud, we are going to report it. When we see mortgage fraud, we are going to prosecute it within the confines of our duties. And we are not going to be intimidated by a subject's criminal defense lawyer. We are not going to be intimidated by a politician or just because you have an Esquire behind your name. We are not going to be intimidated by people. If we see mortgage fraud, we're going to do something about it. And I think that you're going to see us be taking this on in a big way. Mortgage fraud is a big problem. These companies are safe and sound, but where we see it, we are going to do something about it. And that subject's case is no different.
Well, what are the ramifications of this now that you've referred this for criminality to the DOJ?
Well, I would refer that to the DOJ. Again, as I say, we spend our days, we are mortgage experts. We are not politicians. I view this as an economic job. Obviously, the president can fire me at any time. So I guess in that way. But look, I look at this as an independent agency. We found the mortgage fraud, whether it be that particular subject or other subjects, and we work actively with the DOJ and different law enforcement
to make sure that they see this through. I mean, Wow. Okay. So it's not just Letitia James, though. At this moment in time, if I were Adam Schiff, I'd be really nervous, right? Because they went for Comey, they went for Letitia. They went for Letitia on the same thing that they're trying to go after you for, Adam Schiff. And they're claiming that they got something there. I don't have a lot of sort of love lost for Adam Schiff, head of the Schiff show. He had a starring role during those impeachment trials, remember? And he really kind of seemed pretty, I'll just say it, scummy. Okay, which is why I kind of enjoyed the other day when Pam called him out, right? Right there, to his face. Peace of my mind, I see you recognizing this in the chat. So, I had to bring this one just for you. Watch.
President. So let me start with an easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell him that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Can you say that? Do you have the independence to say that? Do you have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election? Can you tell us that here today?
Senator, what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I won't do it. I won't play politics with any ongoing investigation.
So let me ask you another.
Like you did leaking your colleague Devin Nunes's memo.
If you can't.
Department. It's important that individuals know that this is nothing more than the continuation of the tour. He went after law firms, universities, immigrants, women. Thousands of federal employees right now are unemployed. Our government is in chaos and in disarray. Medicaid, Social Security, CFPB, and the list goes on and on and on. And as you know, as you mentioned, each and every day, my office is leading the fight against these executive orders, which have no legal import at all.
I'm just curious, Letitia, how do you have any time to do that? I mean, aren't you meeting with Abby Lowell, your defense attorney? I mean, you must be pretty busy, right? You're going to defend yourself against going to jail for alleged mortgage fraud. You got Adam Schiff out there, Shifty Shift, who's also getting kind of nervous. This is his song and dance that he's twirling around with his baton right about now. Watch.
He can't do the job. He won't protect the public. He will misuse the resources of the Bureau. He will weaponize it against the president's political opponents rather than protecting the safety, the public safety of the American people.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I think he actually really does care about the safety of the American people. I mean, look at what's going on in Washington, D.C. They got the National Guard there. They're absolutely thrilled. The mayor actually has spoken very positively about it because she needs the resources. So he is just kind of going after the bad guys, literally. I mean, I, for one, kind of consider Letitia James and Adam Schiff to be the bad guys, right? And Comey, what a slime ball, right? I mean, hey, I'll prove to you what a slime ball Comey is. Because Comey's the one who decided he wanted a story out there. He wanted a story, so he just leaked it to his friend. Do we have this one? Maybe. Oh, we do. Right? This is Comey deciding he's just going to leak something. Maybe I don't. We'll do. Maybe.
Impeachment trials of our lifetime. So,
forgive me. That's another story I wanted to get to. Anyway, James Comey was really pretty awful the way he went about leaking a story because he wanted to have a special investigation. So he gave it to a Columbia professor friend who then leaked it to a member of the mainstream media. And of course, the media is so idiotic that they don't think, gee, where's this coming from and why? They're just spoon-fed whatever narrative they're supposed to, little dog and pony show, deliver. Meanwhile, other big stuff happening yet again today. The CIA apparently hid a memo because Biden didn't want it out there. Biden, his son, was getting a plum gig. You know the drill and the deal from Burisma. Nobody has a board job anywhere for $600,000 a year or whatever crazy amount of money it was, except for Joe Biden's son, whose dad was actually head of Ukraine policy at the time. I mean, think about the obvious conflict of interest. And by the way, people in the administration were very upset about this, including allegedly President Obama. And then the CIA put a memo together and he squashed it. Biden squashed it because he didn't want anybody knowing about that insane conflict of interest. So again, everything we believe to be true, it's coming out right now. I want to go back to John Solomon on Hannity last night.
Impeachment trials of our lifetime. So we now know the secret's out. Everything Joe Biden told us, that it was a conspiracy to think his family was a conspiracy theory to think his family was doing anything wrong. His own government knew that his son was involved with a corrupt company, and it was hurting the American public and American policy.
Boom. Okay. Like, you really shouldn't do that, right? I mean, again, go back in time. Joe Biden is vice president of the United States. He's got this screw up son who can't hold down a job, who's got all kinds of problems. You know, it's sad. I'm sorry for them that he has all those problems. But then somehow lands this gig for Burisma Energy, a now defunct energy company that was believed to be really corrupt. According to the CIA memo, they were getting intel and feedback from Ukrainians in the government that were like, this isn't good. This feels a little conspicuous, shall we say. I mean, we got Joe Biden over here lecturing us about corruption, all while his son is on the take with a corrupt energy company. Add that one up. Oh, and by the way, just so you have no doubt, go back in time to one Joe Biden talking about how he had all this influence and was shoring up corruption in Ukraine while visiting Richard Haass at the Council on Foreign Relations, something that I actually used to be part of. Let's watch.
Or loan guarantees. And I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time. Well, they made some genuine substantial changes institutionally.
Okay, so here's the punchline. The guy that he got fired, he was actually investigating Burisma, the sketchy energy company that doesn't exist anymore, whose board Joe Biden's son Hunter was on, to the tune of nearly $600,000, crazy amount of money a year. I mean, no one makes that for a board job except Hunter, because apparently he had the ability, courtesy of Pops, to get the big guy, that would be the investigator looking into Burisma, fired. Simple enough. So the CIA had all this info, they had a memo on it, and now we've learned that Joe Biden squashed it. I mean, and then, to think that they had the audacity to tell us that Hunter Biden laptop wasn't real. I'm never going to get over that one, guys. Like, you burn me over and over and over again, and you burn the American public, and now we have no faith in any of these institutions. The faith is now with Donald Trump. And by the way, it should be